I'd like to call the 2025 February Urbana Township meeting to order. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Been a cold day, but we'll see if we can get through this pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to ask everyone here, are there any corrections? I know you've had a chance to look at the minutes. Are there any corrections to the minutes of the previous meeting and the financial status reports is the first item on the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept the minutes and financial report as written, please.
I second it.
Okay. So it has been moved and seconded to approve the minutes and the financial reports. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay, thank you, fellas. The motion is carried. Okay, thank you. It don't look too bad here, does it, temperature-wise?
My hands are cold, but
I'm cold still. I was gonna check it.
I got too many clothes on, but I can't take all this stuff off. I got too much clothes on, but I'm not going to take them all off.
We're gonna go into the road and maintenance report. So now we'll hear what the road and maintenance report. I got information from Richard on some of the activity that was done since our last meeting. So we've had there's days we treated plowed roads and intersections for ice on the 24th, the 3rd of February, the 16th, and obviously this today as well. So it's been 4 days of treating ice and snow. Today's been, and we have to go back over it mostly because of drifting. So that's been a lot of man hours and a lot of time, and I appreciate all you guys doing it. Richard came in early today just to start Honda traffic, get that going, flowing pretty good on 3 Mile and Dugan. Those get blown over pretty easily because they're north and south. So he had some help cleaning the trucks when there was some slow time with Jay. So they cleaned and de-iced or de-salted off the trucks. So when there was some quiet time.
Tractors and skid loader too.
Yeah, tractor and skid loader as well. Them funerals, we've had quite a few funerals set up for the past month. We repaired the truck and tractor for funeral support, made some bucket changes. Funeral support on the 7th, and then again on the 11th and the 14th, and then on the 15th we closed the funeral as well. So it's been quite busy with the funerals. It usually is at this time of year too. So as you can tell just from hearing some of that, it's been a busy month, both with snow, ice, and also funerals. So. Let's see. Anybody have any discussion or concerns or questions on that?
I want to add one comment
Yeah.
on this ice and snow. First of all, we keep plowing the same snow over and over again. It blows over. But how this equipment can stay together, as bad as these roads are, I don't know how trucks and plows, it just beats the tar out of it.
It's been tough on that lower blade on the
Oh my
plow.
gosh!
Yeah.
It's just, and that's the last thing too. That this is, I could add it to the road report, but every time that plow goes down to that road, we depreciate the roads. When we were plowing yesterday, my gosh, the chip and seal, the gravel's coming off on that stuff. It's unbelievable. People don't understand. Everybody wants to have clean roads, and everybody like to see them just down to the asphalt or down to the chip and seal, but they don't realize there's a price for that. Not only the material, but just the wear and tear on the road, wear and tear on the equipment. Boy, it's brutal. So
It's true.
anyway, so hopefully this will be over soon. So soon we should have shot the ground hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've learned quite a bit over the several times of plowing and the hours that we spend in, so I got a good feel for the roads that I'm on a lot.
Yeah.
Um, it's not easy when you're backing up and you gotta not hit a stop sign or a pole, or and you're trying to turn around just to go back the other way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot to it.
So that's all I had on that now.
Thank you, Brad.
Just had it.
No, that's good. Okay, we're gonna move on to the zoning and cemetery report.
You got some of that, man, on with Richard. There's just 2 burials,
Yeah.
and Sean just had a single written zoning permit. He's got a bunch in the planning stage. So plus he's got some other issues with, I don't want to say issues. He's got some other, things going as far as things that are, some of the things that Sean, we don't really even have any say-so over as far as cell towers and stuff like that. But
Sure.
they're still sucking him into the middle of that, so.
Is there a report for him?
Yeah.
Like, I know.
Yeah.
I made
It's-
copies.
it's-
I made copies.
He's just giving us what he finishes,
Oh, okay,
what he
thank you.
looks every month. That's it, man.
Okay. Very good. Thank you, Blair. Website, I don't have much on the website to report. I do know that, I got the videos that we do post out there. I do see a number that it gives me on how much is being viewed. A lot of the videos, I looked at the numbers. June, July, and August are basically the most viewed videos that we have on our website, which is pretty good. I mean, that's good to see there. I don't have the exact numbers, but of all 12 months, those months were the highest interaction, I guess you could say.
And they keep growing.
But we average maybe 8 to 10 on a month. But those were in the 40s and 50s. But I don't have a whole lot of detail on website stuff. Emails wise, I got very minimal emails on anything. No questions from any residents or anything of that nature. A lot of what do you call it? Other stuff you don't really want or see, need. So yeah, that's it on the.
I did get the minutes all uploaded there since
Okay.
the last meeting through the end of the 2024. So the only one that's not on there is the one that we just approved.
Okay, very good, Sandy.
Very
Thank you.
good, thank you, Steve.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know a lot of websites and townships, they don't have the minutes that are available. A lot of times you have to ask for them, but it's nice to see that we have been doing that for a couple of years now. That they're available to anybody, so,
3 years.
yeah, 3
3
years.
years.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to old business. We'll now address anything that's on the old business. If you guys have some old business you wanna talk about or discuss.
I'm gonna let you go first, Rod. You got anything?
No, I'm good.
The only old business that I want to report on is Kyle Kelch was here last meeting, and I did talk to LUC about the situation. They gave their opinion as far as he's in an agriculture, it's zone agriculture. Agriculture is doing what agriculture does. There's no buildings, no odor, no other than a well, but a well can be, so they said the only time that they could get involved if it was zoned residential, if it was zoned B1, B2, and then someone's doing a business that's not right for the zoning. Well, of course, the ag it's ag. So they suggested that he's probably gonna have to look at private counsel if he wants to do something. I've left a couple messages for Jane, and I know she's been swamped here lately, and she's never gotten back to me about this subject here, but that was LUC's, and she's going to refer to LUC too, so anyway, so that's what I have on that one.
Is that, when he built the house 40 some years ago, was that zoned residential?
No,
then?
that's always been agriculture, it's not.
I'm just, something popped in my head about asking that
Yeah.
questions.
And the big thing on breaking zoning, I mean, if something's like light industrial or something, and then they try to put something heavy industry, then zoning can get involved. But there's no zoning. Well, there's no zoning for agriculture anyway, so we can't make up zoning here. So now, anyway.
So you got information from
LUC.
LUC, okay. And we couldn't get hold of Jane on anything legal wise that he was wanting.
Well, she's gonna refer to LUC too.
Okay.
Do you want me to send a letter to Mr. Couch or? wait?
Well, I'd still like to have, I wanna have Jane give a final,
Okay, right.
so, you know, if I don't get to you before, hopefully I'll have it by next meeting, so. And what was it, I think the other whole business that was brought up is, they were asking, it was brought up about 1230 South Avenue. I stopped in and spoke to the auditor and to the treasurer. Auditor sent me over to the treasurer. Robin we sat in the office, talked about it. It was turned over to the prosecuting office on September 11th, 2024. I stopped in the prosecuting office and they say it's in the process of tax foreclosure. So she said, that's where it's at. So it isn't, and then once it gets foreclosed, then there's several different avenues that we can do. One is if we can go for, you know, there's other things that we can do, but it's got to get foreclosed first and get free of the Medicare loan. That's all I got on old business, man.
Alrighty, Blair, thank you. I do have a couple of items. Township education is obviously now available to all the township team. I think I emailed you guys that information. Sandy emailed it to me as well, and she got the receipt as well.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't
that's
realize
good.
that we're already on that.
No, that's fine. I was wondering, I got the email and I thought, hey, let's get everybody on the same page. So that $250 that it costs, we can also use the Otarma More grant to get reimbursed for that. And they said, please do that.
Yeah, great.
Some of the information that I learned in some of the classes and the things. So I'll fill one out for that to pay for that education. Every township has that ability to do this, so I think it's great. You can watch those videos over and over as much as you want until you get the gist of what's going on. Also, we applied for an Otarma security grant, or I did, right before January of last year, to get some door locks. Well, obviously I struggle with the one tonight. So we'll have some keypad door locks that can actually be controlled if need be by a phone or need be unlocked, that type of thing. And we'll have another one too, probably for the inside there, to get into Sean and Sandy's office. So they were ready to go. They actually sent the check and got it done, and Sandy's already has it deposited, so it's in the bank. But I have to just go out and purchase these locks. So
that paid in full.
Yeah, she gave me the money that I told her what it was going to be.
$458.
Yeah, $458. And it was just more or less a digital type lock. I mean, a little more fancy than the one we have on the back. Keypad that we punch a number in. And then you can also get in access if you need be with your phone and that type of thing. Wi-Fi. So she was all fine for that. It was all because it was for security. It had to be some type of security feature. Funds are available for purchase expenses incurred during the primary purpose of the purchase is prevention and reduction of liability claims or property losses. So I thought maybe if we could fit under that, it worked for us. So it worked for them as well. So it was a total of $458, which is the price of 2 door locks. So I wanted to update you guys on that too. Okay. Any questions or concerns, comments on that? No? We will move to new business. Anybody have any updates on any new business?
Roger, I'm pointing at you. You got anything? I got a couple things. I've started meeting with the city about the EMS contract. Preliminary on that, so not a lot to report on. They're fueling us out, and we've got some.
Is it just EMS or
It's
fire?
fire and EMS. Sorry.
I just
No,
wanna
yeah,
make sure.
we just call it EMS. I should be saying fire and EMS. But we should be having the same contract as we had the last 3 years. We had a year extension. I think the council still has to approve that. I hope they're going to approve that. So we'll find out they're going to do that this month's meeting.
Yeah, okay.
But then we've got to start talking about what we're going to do. That leads into part of new business number 2 is the pre-annexation for Vancrest has been approved, which means it could be 60 to maybe up to 120 days for that to be finalized. So
From what date? Or
it was right at, I think that was done last council meeting. Or
Okay.
I'll take it back. I think it was done in December council meeting. So they're talking maybe May to June that should be able to be annexed out of the township. And then that creates some different opportunities. So we have to wait till that's over to,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And that's all on those two are tied together, believe it or not. So, and then the last thing I have, I'm sure you have more, Matt, is we got to talk about the road contract with the county. If we want to participate with them, which,
Well, we do every year, right?
well, we've used some private people. We've always done it with. I've never done anything with the county. I think you might have done something with some private people.
Quite some time back.
Yeah, but it's been you've been with the county for a pretty long time now.
Yeah.
County gives us cost of labor and cost of materials, so we can't argue. But I don't know if we'll ever beat anybody on something like that. So, February 4th, Deanie Boggs went around with us, and Matt was included in that visit. I checked with Jane, and Jane said that he was allowed to, be a backseater as long as he just wanted to see. He was mainly just trying to figure out what Deanie was looking at, trying to get an idea of what his thought process was when he looked at roads and how he just determined which road had a higher need for attention. So Deanie came up with, I think there was, how many is on here, Matt? 5 projects? 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6.
6.
Yeah, the Dugan Road and 3 Mile Road, there's, if you see that down there, that's kind of, if they're gonna widen the road. We'll talk about that in a minute too.
Okay.
But for right now, this is what we're looking at.
And this
We have a couple options. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
no, this is all just for chip and seal, basically,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I remember of it.
yeah,
Can I have a copy of that?
yeah.
Yeah, I got black and white.
Okay.
And that's what we gotta decide tonight, guys, and that, so we were allowed to, Matt ran the numbers here, so, and then Danny, did Danny confirm all this?
I got a hold of Dan on, let's see, what was it, Saturday morning, reconfirming some of the widths, because I know that's into the square yard, so he wanted to reconfirm Sloan. The county had Sloan down as a 22-foot wide
And it's
road,
not.
and we're kind of not sure about that.
Yeah.
So he said he would help try to figure that out. Reason why he wasn't totally prepared with giving us all the information was he had, Steve was out sick or family issues, so he couldn't really communicate with him. So he gave me the cost of chip and seal cost, he gave us the fog seal cost, and so I just worked it up on the spreadsheet to help everybody understand what those would be impactful on each of those roads.
And you also got if we're gonna line the roads, if we're gonna have
Yeah.
options in there also.
Yeah, you have a choice for the yellow line and the white line and what those would cost per mile. And then also fog seal, which is another feature that's works well.
Well, we're way over what we did last year and what we did in 23, but we're also behind what we did. And we're going to have to play catch up sooner or later.
So we're looking at Sloan, Jedora, Oakview, Edinger, Campground Road, and Children's Home Road. Right. Children's Home was just a small portion. Well, right.
Yeah.
And just up, I don't understand it completely, but I think it's the top of the hill down to Edinger. Is that right?
Correct. That's one, because we share that with the city. From-
Sure, one half to the city.
Correct. So that's going to be that is not included in this price. We got some Dura patching that's included in this. Danny wanted to try that. I want to say one other thing. Richard went out and he made his assessment, and Richard's assessments were the same as Danny's was, which shows you that an old dog still knows his old tricks, I guess. But we got to look at, and the other thing, the reason I got to talk about this tonight, from the Champaign County engineer, we ask you to let us know no later than February 18th. So,
Tomorrow.
yeah. So we got to talk about this and make a decision about what we're going to look at.
Or at least give him
An idea.
a list of certain roads that we definitely want to pursue, right?
Yeah. I'm going to say something, and this is my opinion, you guys. I mean, are we open for discussion also on this?
Yep, that's what.
We haven't made a motion yet, but that's all right. But I was kind of gung ho on fog seal, but then after seeing what come off the road this last plowing, I don't know if you're not going to plow $20,000 off the road. I mean, that's a $20,000 upgrade to fog seal.
That's a tough one. That's tough.
You know, I don't know if that's. I don't know. It'd be different if it was hot mix.
Where's that at? You're saying?
Look
20,000?
at.
Oh, okay, I get you. 68 versus 89.
Yeah. So, well, just look at fog seal. Don't look at the lines. Look at 62 and 83. So that's a $20,000 upgrade to fog seal. And I just don't know if that's a great. That's my opinion, Roger.
I know, it's tough.
Yeah, it goes up about what, 7,000 if you did fog seal over top of it
What do you mean?
on that one road, just Sloan.
Okay.
And if you go over Edinger, it's
Okay. So you're not
About-
looking at the whole project.
no, I see what you're saying. No, 64, 83. That's about me. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
No. It's 21,000.
Is it okay?
It's 21,000.
Yeah, all right, I see what you're saying. Yeah. There's the fill-in cul-de-sac issue that you brought up,
Mm-hmm.
that you wanted to see what that would.
Yeah, we got $1,000 that we have to add to that too.
Yeah, that'd be in the chip seal cost, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be,
But it's made up. It takes less chip seal because of having the fill-in cul-de-sac. We filled in the Ward Manor. When you called me yesterday and asked how plowing was going, I told you I was talking to the gentleman down there. And I asked him, I said, what do you think about, your filled-in cul-de-sac? He says, he loved it.
Okay.
He says, no one has to mow it. It's a straight shot to get in your driveways now. He says, who decided that it should have a ring around? I guess whoever developed it was a developer, but they loved it. So I've talked to people in Jedora. Everyone says get rid of it. So plus it's easier for them to do chip seal. It's easier for us to maintain. And someone doesn't have to go out and argue about whose turn it is to mow the little grass patch out there. So
yeah, did somebody share it or somebody just do it?
they usually try to share it as people took turns. So we got that. We'll have to add that too, but we're still got to decide whether we're going to do fog seal or. Now I'm stepping on your toes.
No, that's good. No,
I apologize.
no, I'm just asking questions, trying to
Yeah.
stir Is there a discussion?
The one thing, again, this is an opinion. You know, I think the white line on the edge lines are more important than the fog seal. The yellow line, I mean, Matt, you know, can talk about this too, is, you know, there's no reason to put a yellow line down the center of these roads, Sloan or, you know, or Edgar, because they're so narrow. I mean, that yellow line doesn't mean anything. You can't. Trust me, I'm using the big truck plowing, and someone has to get over, even on Dugan, and almost on 3 Mile. So that yellow line is a false sense of security. I mean, it doesn't mean that you don't have to. Someone's gotta, you know, has to give the right of way to somebody. But the white line to keep people on the roads most of the time, I think, is important. The white line isn't that expensive. The yellow line, I guess, is $2,000.
Yeah.
But value-wise, I think the chip seal with no fog and then the white line, edge lines, I mean, that gets us in basically under 66,000 preliminary. I mean, there's still some, like Matt said, there's gotta be some roads measured to make sure that the square footage is right.
Yeah,
And that will be to our favor, because he figured it at the wider width. There's no way that's 22 foot.
we wonder. That's something we probably should do to confirm it, and also Danny.
I think you and Richard could go out
Right.
and I would just go out and measure it 3 or 4 different places down through there. And
Yeah. You're discussing painted lines, Blair. I'm wondering if the yellow line may be something that has to be done by, and it's a safety situation or whatever. I'm not sure.
I
Maybe Danny can answer that.
don't
I don't know if we can omit it or not, or maybe what I should have had maybe was another column of what do we have existing currently. Do we have yellow line and white line,
Well,
or
again,
do we have nothing?
anything under 17 feet doesn't have to have lines, period.
Yeah.
So,
I think so.
it's a bonus to have
Yeah.
at least the edge lines. Oh no, that's a good question.
Well, that's something I can reach out tomorrow with him on that. But so really we have to come up with what? Just the 4 roads that we were interested in doing? Or 5 roads, or all of these roads? They want a to-do list, basically, so then they go quote money for material and stuff, or what? I can't remember on that. It's on that staple, huh?
Well, last year we spent 35,000. But we didn't do this many roads either. So now we're looking at probably, if we're just talking chip and seal, no fog seal, we're talking 65 to 70.
Well,
It ain't gonna get no cheaper next year.
that's if you want to do all these roads.
Yeah.
Sloan, Jedora, Oakview, Eddie, Campground. I know these are.
Well, we talked about, Sandy was nice enough to supply some budget materials of what we get on taxes and things like that. We absolutely can afford to do this. We can't afford to keep letting this go by, and it just keeps getting more expensive on us. We can't. I mean, there was a couple others that were high on Danny's list too that we did not put on here. He says, well, that can wait till next year, that can wait till next year, but
Yeah, he kind of.
yeah. I mean, if not, next year is gonna be the same thing.
Right. We're just moving the situation to the middle.
I don't believe there's any law that we have to have a yellow line, is there?
I don't know. I mean, unless we have hills or whatever, I'm not sure, how that comes about, but. I mean, that's
Well,
not,
that Steve will answer that
that's
question.
not a huge jump.
Yeah, it's not, and again, that's not even a huge amount of money, it's $2,000. That's big money, I'm not trying to say that, but in the scheme of things, you know, you're talking about something that's like 3% of the project. Roger, you got anything else you wanna add on this? 'Cause if not, I'm gonna make a motion.
Make a motion.
Well, then you guys,
We know what we have
you
to
guys
do.
can vote on it, and if you say, no, we'll make it, we'll figure it out. Matt, I'm gonna move that, we go ahead and we're going to chip and seal the 6 roads listed. And I'd like to do chip and seal only, and with the option of doing the white and yellow line, which could add additional $5,000 if we did both. But the chip and seal only would be around 62.8, and these are approximate costs, so we need to have probably 10% in there, I would imagine.
And then throw in,
The cul-de-sacs, so we got the 2
yeah,
cul-de-sac
we're gonna
fill-ins.
do that.
So I'm gonna move that we did chip and seal only with the option of the white and yellow line, depending on what legally we have to do.
Are the cul-de-sacs on here, on this list?
Yeah,
Is
see,
that the Duke and 3 Mile?
yeah, it's a special notes.
Oh, I see, fill in cul-de-sac, oh, sorry, that's Jodor and Oakview, okay.
Roger, what do you?
I'm gonna go ahead and second that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I,
You can call discussion again, Matt, if you want.
yeah, my own question obviously is the Sloan one you wanna do? Chip and seal, I mean, is it, or what you were bringing up earlier, Blair, is it something that we gotta do at some time, we're gonna have to kick it to the future and then we'll do it again?
That's what we've been doing.
Alright. That was the one I thought if we had to drop one, that might be one we could drop, but
Well, it's gonna be on top of the list next year then.
I know,
And you heard what he said about the others.
yeah. He knows his stuff. It's scary how he can start looking at a road and you can tell right away.
Yeah.
And I'm like, teach me that, cause I
Well, him and Richard both can do that. I'm amazed that, number one, that the county, you know, lends him out to us to get his personal or professional opinion on it. Danny's, I mean, we went down every road, we went in every subdivision. I mean, we got him for 2.5 hours.
so,
And Matt sat in the back and was the perfect note keeper back there.
well,
And thank you for doing that, by the way,
I
Matt.
was trying to
because-
understand how he comes up with this.
Yeah.
We didn't toss it. It was educational.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how I would vote on this.
Well, call for a vote. You can vote no.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. How do I have that on here? Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve all the roads that are on this list. The 6 of them: Sloan, Jedora, Oakview, Eddinger, Campground Road, and Children's Home, to be chipped and sealed, and looking at yellow and white lines for those. All in favor of proceeding with this close to maybe $68,000 right there, give or take, until we get a little more confirmation. All in favor, say aye.
You
I'll
can
be the nay. I'll be the nay just because I'm just think we can kick Nick Sloan out of there, but do it another year, but
Man, I respect it, that's great.
anyway. So, next, the motion has been carried. We had 2 out of 3 on the vote, so. Alright,
Next, different.
I'm doing a little, I guess that's carried.
And it's, now, the other thing that Deanie was talking about while we were tripping through these roads, I met Dugan and 3 Mile are a mess. And 3 Mile is basically a 3-year-old road.
Yeah.
We have got to do something about the berm. I mean, we've got to do something. Deanie said that. Deanie's option was to widen it. We can't afford that. We can't. It should have been, I don't know why it wasn't widened when it was, you know, that was before my time.
It's a 17-foot road according to his document.
But
That's a highly traveled road.
yeah, and there's already places that are 8 or 9 inches below the road that were green off the road. So we have got to get a piece of equipment to push to bring that berm up. And then Deanie, when he's driving, then Dugan Road's a different issue. He wants to go ahead, and he says our best bet on that is to add cold mix to every one of those berm holes because it's running on us. Cold mix is $150 a ton. We will go through tons of this stuff. So, getting this berm moved to the road edge is, in my opinion, really important. That has to be a spring project. Almost gets priority.
Blair, is that something that we can do as a township, or do we
Well,
get a cost from them?
Well, we know, again, what they did last year. Where's my sheet at? I'm gonna do that. Jamie figured that out. Jamie Hackworth at the office went through, and what it cost us to reberm Dugan last year was $1,442. She went by, and if we did everything exactly the same, with the new cost of gravel and the new contract with labor, is now going to be $2,160. Same exact job.
And that's from where to?
From last year to this year.
Oh, okay, I meant distance-wise, or?
Oh, no, we're talking about, they went through and fixed, they brought all the berm on Dugan tight to the road again. And within a month, it was already running off. I mean, that road is so narrow that we can't keep people on the road. So again, we got 2,000, and that doesn't address 3 Mile Road, doesn't address, Middle Urbana Road has got now places where they've ran off the road. Berm's got to get moved, so we're either going to pay to do it or we're going to do it ourselves.
All right, I see.
To do it ourselves, a piece of equipment's going to be, that's why I said, I told you guys to think about that.
Oh.
Last meeting is about getting
Here it
a
is.
3-way blade.
Oh, that's not it, it's this one. It's been sitting here for a while.
Yeah.
That's a quote from
Yeah,
Katie.
Quote for caning.
I don't know how to say it. Dude, I think it's all there. 4,700 something like that.
Yeah.
That's if we are dragging the
Yeah.
gravel over and
Well,
packing it down.
that's kind of what our job is.
I understand.
Yeah. So,
We maintain the road, we don't make the road.
yeah. So
Okay.
I think again, if it's something that they've got to order to get in, we've got to decide.
So we need to gather that cost up for that.
So again, if you guys want to wait and get another updated quote from James, we can. But we have got to make this, if it takes a month or 2 months to get it in, and we're talking about just on those 2 roads, I mean, we'll pay for it in just in those 2 roads. If 3 miles is expensive as what Dugan is, and probably is gonna be more
It
expensive.
will be or more.
Yeah.
Larry, you're saying that's not the cold mix, that's just,
We gotta still move berm, Matt.
yeah, I
Okay?
know, yeah.
Yeah, but the cold mix, that's something we're just gonna have to start, we're gonna try berming it first, and if the berm can't hold it, then we're gonna have to cold mix it and then pull the berm up to it. Because that whole edge of the road's crumbling away. I mean, I just plowed it right before the meeting. I mean, it's a mess. I mean, and this winter is killing it.
Yeah.
So, and that, well, you know, you heard Danny say that. He says, look, he says, you guys are either gonna have to widen this road, and then if we tear the road out, then we're throwing that money all away.
That was the worst part on the other side of
That, yeah, that,
36.
correct. That was North Dugan from 36 to Children's Home Road.
Yeah, it is bad.
So, we can't just keep ignoring this. So,
Alright.
so can we get we'll get another quote and we'll vote
Okay.
next meeting, but I doubt that it went up much, but, you know, 47, $47.97, so.
$4,791.
Yeah, somewhere in there, but we'll get another,
Do you, that's just burning the gravel over, right? That's
no,
not
that,
cold mix.
no, that is a piece of equipment to
Right,
bring the berm up.
I get it, but I mean, what you're talking about, if we did it otherwise.
Oh,
besides-
I'm sorry, Matt, excuse me, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine.
What the county did, that was adding the gravel, and bringing it up and tucking it up to the road.
Okay.
And that's why I said, you know, within a month, it was already potholed up because people, guess, you gotta have the right weather once that's
So
done
then
to
the
firm
next
that.
best option to fix that is cold mix.
Cold
And then we
mix.
need that caustic cold mix too.
Or it's gonna be sending Richard out once every 2 weeks to go
Okay.
and take a piece of equipment, a rear blade, and pull that berm over. Berm doesn't disappear, it moves.
Yeah.
It goes,
Okay.
it just goes. And we gotta make sure that we're bringing it back. And then once Richard gets in, he takes a tractor tire, makes a couple 2 or 3 trips down trying to compact it and then going from there. But a lot of this, we won't have to get more berm gravel, it's there. We just gotta get it over to the road edge.
Alright. I appreciate the education.
Well, Matt, again,
I'm learning, I get it.
if I didn't mean that to sound.
No, you did great. I just was trying to understand if we
Yeah.
needed to go cold mix
But
on all this stuff too.
cold mix will be the next step if the berming alone. It'll have to be rebermed regardless, even if we do cold mix. We still got to pull.
Okay,
We still got to keep the
Okay.
berm pulled.
that helps me.
But Danny saying that we had to cold mix this stuff is. But he says I don't know. Well, he says you want. He says we can add a foot to each side of the road, but he says you're talking $100,000. It's like, and then in 4 years spend $1 million on replace. We should be shot if we do something like that.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So anyway,
Okay, so what do you want to do with this then?
Let's- we didn't make a motion, but I'll get a brand new quote, and that time that we need it to be held for 30 days, and we'll vote on it next meeting.
Okay,
But guys, think about it more. I mean, again, I'm gonna go over what Jamie said. $1,400 to $2,100 just on Dallas.
Yeah.
So if Dugan if 3 Mile takes the same, and I think 3 Mile is worse as far as, because we got all that gravel to bring. Danny, remember what Danny said? He wanted to bring a bunch more gravel in.
Mm.
So
I don't remember.
if we did, we could pay for that in
Oh, yeah.
in just one
Agreed.
year, one project. And that isn't the only 2 roads we need to do. So,
okay.
sorry.
No, that's good. That was old business.
That was new business.
New business,
Matt.
sorry, yeah. Okay, very good. That was a good,
Matt, that's all I got for new
Good-
business. I'm
good
sorry
information.
sorry to hold all that.
Sandy,
Yeah, I have the budget, the final budget, I put it on each of your desks. So I just, I got the amended certificate back from the county auditor, so I've added in all the revenue that she anticipates we're gonna get. And then I budgeted high again, just so we don't have to go back to the budget commission if we do happen to go with a big project. So I just need someone to make a motion to approve, the final revenue and expenditures so that I can get them entered in before, the next meeting.
is that, revenue expenditures, okay? Very
Yes.
good. I'm just checking my,
I move, so move.
I'll second that.
okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve the expenditure for Sandy to proceed on. I got one thing from Sandy,
Gotta vote on that.
yeah, oh, sorry.
It's all right.
So it's been moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The motion's been carried to proceed with the expenditure. Yes, thank you, Sandy.
That's all I have.
Thank you. I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the bill payments and allow Sandy to distribute and mail checks for approved payments.
For the what now?
I would like to entertain a motion to approve the bill payments and allow Sandy to distribute and mail checks for approved payments.
So move.
I second it.
It has been moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is carried. Very good. Quite discussion today.
Sorry
That's
about
good
that.
stuff. Now we're gonna move on to public comment. I'll stand up for this one. I know I don't have a whole lot of visitors tonight, and we obviously have Mr. Evilsizer. Each individual, or maybe you remember the guideline I had back. Mr. Evilsizer was anybody individual that would wish to address the board. We would ask them to sign in, and I don't know if anybody signed in here tonight.
I haven't yet, but I'll be happy to do so.
Yeah, if you could sign in prior to the meeting, because if anybody else is here, they're gonna have to do the same thing, or we'll ask them to do the same thing. That's all. And we want you to sign in before the meeting. That'll help me out. That way I know, hey, that person wants to speak to us tonight. They may want to come in and just watch or listen, but if that person signs in, we have an idea that hey, they're very interested in addressing the board. So that's my thought. And that's also some of the classes I've been taking in OTA and all that stuff. It's almost standard operating procedure in a lot of this stuff that I'll bring it up tonight. Though a lot of them also say, please state your name and address when you obviously approach the board. I don't have a podium. Maybe I'll get one. But that's something I'd like to. But state your name and address, and why am I doing that? Well, it's because if anybody else in the crowd, they don't know who's speaking. When I came here and started, or I walked in the first time, I didn't know any method of what was going on. It would have helped me too. And I'll do that with the newer people that come in. I'll explain the situation and how we go about our agenda. And that public comment is more or less towards the end. If we have an agenda that needs to be, we got 10 people here all want to talk about the same thing, then I may bring it up to the earlier part of the meeting. But right now, we're just going to keep it close to the end like we do now. And another reason, Dan, I'm the chairperson or the presiding president, so I like to change things up a little bit. So obviously we have a 5-minute time limit, and we're gonna, excuse me, I've got a cold. There won't be any back and forth discussion. We're gonna let you or anybody else that's here at that time to go give them the full 5 minutes. You've brought that up in the past many times, and I know others have too. We're not going to interject or ask or bug or question back and forth. We're going to let you have your full 5 minutes. That way it can be done, and it's only rightful to anybody that's asking the questions or maybe asking for help or support. And then also I'll throw up a flag, say, hey, you got 1 minute left. So anybody that's talking, then they have an idea of, hey, I'm almost finished anyway. So. And that's really it. So if you'd like to have any comments tonight, we'll entertain them right now. We'll keep her quiet until we.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.
I was curious, is regarding the legal notices that get put in the newspaper, who puts those in there? Or who's responsible for them and that verbiage?
Oh, we don't want to interject. We're gonna let you have your 5 full minutes, if that's okay.
And then you'll answer them afterwards?
If we can get those simply
And
for you, that'd be fine.
my other question would be, who puts the legal notices on the website and comes up with that verbiage? Why is the website notice so minimally unrecognizable as to the published one in the Urbana Daily Citizen? There was mention about the property on South Avenue, and I was under the understanding everyone was aware of the foreclosure proceeding and the county auditor and the treasurer and prosecutor's involvement. But what was brought up last week was about addressing the health concerns in the health department. And there was no mention of any contact being made with them that last week's meeting or this week. How many miles of roadways is the township clearing?
Okay.
And that's it for tonight.
Okay. That's a lot less than 5 minutes there. That's pretty good. Take that. So, we can get back to you on all this, Stan. I know that a lot of it, may be able to answer it really quickly, or maybe it may take us a little bit of time to understand.
Surprise. Shenanigan.
Well, I'll give you answers on a couple, but if it'll help you, I don't know much about the others. But miles of roadway, it's like 28 miles.
28 miles?
We get a what is it? A county engineer gives us that figure. We don't make that up or anything. It's calculated by them. Website notices, I do that. And
Pardon me?
website notices, I put that text in there. Maybe I can make it bigger. That's something I didn't even notice, but it probably something that could be addressed a little larger. I only put one in for a zoning improvement or a zoning meeting one time, if that's what you're referring to.
But it was far different than the one published, the legal notice in the newspaper.
Oh, okay. See, I need to compare that. I don't have within. I don't see the newspaper to compare it. I guess you could say so.
That's why I asked you who put those in and who was responsible for that.
Yeah, I don't know if.
It's the zoning people.
Correct.
But yeah, that put
Okay.
it in there. What would be either
The
Dan
sec-
Bruni does them or
The
zoning
secret-
committee?
It's the
Yeah.
secretary of the EZA and the secretary of the zoning commission.
And I'm not trying to point blame, I'm just thinking the right hand and left hand should know what each other are doing
I see.
and have the same verbiage.
I understand.
Is that an unreasonable expectation?
I know there's a bill coming out where we don't have to do some of this advertising on in the newspaper. It might be just legally fine to put it on the website.
there
But
is
regardless, last
specific.
month, there were 2 different notices, one on the website, one in the Urbana Daily Citizen, that were totally different.
There's specific verbiage that a zoning notice has to have. So what they put in the newspaper is the official one, and if that is taken away, the official one will be in. And if you choose not to post it in the paper and you choose to put it on the website only, it will still have to comply with what is needed. So they will, if that's what you're going to choose to go to, then whoever, Steve Mabry, whoever does it, will have to give that to you to upload. And so, like, if they're putting one in the newspaper and you want to list it on the website, then just ask them for it so that you can upload the verbiage, yes,
Okay.
into the,
Yeah.
into the website.
That's something I wasn't aware of.
And so the notices that I put in, like there's one coming up, if anyone, I think it's running Tuesday. They are just for like, if someone wants to see our year end, then I have to put a notice in the newspaper, but there's not specific verbiage. I came up with that myself. But the zoning ones, there is, like they have to have what it's about, specific stuff, there's statute about it.
And the main point was, as Matt said, you know, he doesn't get the newspaper. Some people do, some people do not. So if they rely on the township website, then it was not the same information.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Okay. The other items, Dan, we can get back with you on that in the future. You can also use our email, trustees@urbanatownship.com. You can email that anytime. That way you don't have to wait the 30 days in between meetings. You can send out those questions. And we can have an answer for you when we see you again.
So
Or email directly right back.
So you're saying you don't have answers for the rest of them tonight?
Right, yes, exactly, sir.
And when would you anticipate those?
I'll try to get it within if it's not any more plowing snow here this week, I might be able to help you out with something on a reply. For the South Avenue question, is that right? Addressing health concerns. I thought we did have some of addressment on that from Blair. No?
No,
It wasn't in.
I spoke to the health department and I got the same answer I've been getting every time. We are not health control, or we are not animal control.
What would you like to hear from them on that?
I'm sorry?
What would you want to know about that? The health issues they're having?
Yeah, I mean, has that not been addressed by the township?
We don't really actually address that health issue. I don't know
It's been
exactly
brought up at several meetings.
how would we go about it. I mean, we've asked the health department those types of things.
Well, I guess I only heard in tonight's report, you know, about talking with the auditor and the treasurer and the prosecutor, but no contact with the health department.
I had contact with the health department, I didn't have any new information to report.
You didn't have any information that there was a health concern there?
I asked the health department about, they gave me the same answer they gave me last time. They are not animal control.
And so when was that answer?
That answer has been several times.
If you could help us with this, Dan, you can approach them as well.
I'm sorry?
If you can help us with this one, you can
Well,
approach
you've got
them
to
as
help
well.
yourselves. You've got to be open to wanting help.
I understand, but you can
And
help us
you know, I
with
keep
this too.
hearing I. I think you guys' eyes are too close together.
Alright? Wait, I don't understand. Anything else? We're done. So, we're gonna move on to
Yep. Hey.
announcements. Any other announcements at this time? Okay. If there's no further notice, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
If we adjourn.
Yes, we moved and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned at 6